What is up, YouTube? This is BigDubz, and today I wanted to kind of make a short tutorial on how to pack your SnowRunner maps. Since Phase 6 came out, it's been a little bit different. It used to be done automatically. Now it's a manual process. So with that, I kind of just wanted to show some people if you're having issues out there on how to pack your map. And this is basically how I do it. So hopefully this gives you some insight and a little bit of help. So let's jump into things. The way I typically do it is if I've already gone into the editor and I've clicked the button up top that's packed the map, and I closed out of it and I'm ready to upload it to Modio. Modio takes a zip file. It doesn't take a pack file. So you have to create a zip folder for it. So you need to drop some files into that zip folder, name it, and then we can basically upload that to Modio for the map. And you'll have different versions depending on what your platform you're trying to reach. If you're just trying to reach PC, you can put the PC files in there. If you want to get a PlayStation, there's different ones for different platforms. So I'll explain all that and we'll go ahead and dive into this. So, alright. First thing you're going to do is go to your documents. So you can find your SnowRunner editor files. Typically it's in my documents, my games, SnowRunner. If you're working on the test, it's obviously in the beta. In there you'll find a media folder. Some of these other folders you may not see. I have custom mods, or not custom mods, custom models and trucks and all kinds of other stuff in here. So some of these folders and files you may not see, but this is all the same. So after you packed a mod, it'll put it in the mods folder is what it's called. So if you packed your level, it'll be in the mods folder. And you'll notice I have a bunch of trucks. This doesn't really matter to y'all. But if you scroll down, you'll start seeing all these levels. Any kind of level name that I've made basically is over here now. And these are its corresponding pack files. So I know it kind of looks scary with all these names, but it's relatively not that hard. I will do, for example, Redline Preserve because it's one of my newest maps. So it just has all the files because I packed it inside a Season 6 editor. So I'm sure I'll have to repack everything again whenever Season 7 comes out, because that typically happens as well. So just a little side note there. I'm sorry about my dogs barking. Alright, what was I saying? Alright, pack files. The best way to do this, I like to basically just minimize this screen where it's kind of small, and on my desktop I'll create a new folder. This folder name is what will be on Modio folder, or well, file structure basically. Technically I think you can name it whatever you want, but I like to name it whatever the level's name is that I'm working with. So I'm going to call this level underscore redline and preserve. Alright, awesome. Okay, inside that you will basically need to start dragging and dropping some files. The number one file that I always put in there is redline preserve pack file. It just says .pack at the end of it. This is the probably raw files, basically. Most of like your textures and things like that you've added are probably in this. But there also is these other files per platform that are needed. They're extra that are not inside the pack file. That's why there's a need for both of them. So typically you'll need this in every zip file that you're going to make, which that'll make more sense here in a minute. So I can go ahead and copy this one. I'll open up this folder over here. I'll paste it in there. Alright. Make sure. Yeah. Alright, it's there. By the way, I have Windows 11, so some of this file structure on the right-click options are going to be different for you. I will explain that here in a second as well. So, alright. We got that file in there. Alright, now I need to make a PC zip file for mod.io. So, to do that, I will now copy, and in that same folder, I will paste the PC files. Alright. This file now is technically ready to be zipped. So, what I do to zip it is basically just compress the zip file. On Windows 10, I believe it's going to be send to compress zipped folder for the option. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to let Windows basically compress everything. Okay, awesome. Now, as you can see, I have a zip folder. This is what I would upload to mod.io. But as is, it's a little bit confusing for you as a modder because you don't know which one of these will be which. Because ultimately I would need to go ahead and put in the other pack files for the other platforms. Okay, so I typically name each one of my zip files for their platform. So I'll do an underscore PC for this zip file. Alright, then I'll go back to the folder that I'm using to make everything, and I'll delete the PC pack file out. I'll navigate back to my mods folder, and I'll move on, and I'll grab the PlayStation 4 file. Okay, and I'll paste it in. And I will basically repeat the process. Send to compress zip folder. Shouldn't take too long. Okay. Like I said, I like to name them. So I'll name this one PS4. And there's my PS4 pack. Alright. Well, it's not my PS4 pack, it's my PS4 zip for mod.io. Next thing, mod.io. So I'll navigate to my profile on mod.io. Typically it'd just be whatever, adding a mod, I believe. add. Modio is super slow today. Yeah, wow. Alright, cool. You'd be normally going through this whole add blah blah mod profile or mod setup. So, but for me, I will find Redline real quick for y'all. We'll take a look at what the files would look like. As you can see, I've uploaded several of these already. These are all the pack files for all the platforms. So this is where you would get through. You would start out on this page. Sorry for my dogs again. You'd fill out all your information, media, files. Alright. In your files, this is where you would choose your zip file. So if I hit choose file, depending on where you last were, you may need to navigate to your desktop. So Windows 10 is probably this PC, and you'll have like a little shortcut that's called desktop. Here is where you'll see your zip files. These are only files that basically the Modio will take. So I would select my PC file, open it, fill out what version it is, whether it's public, beta, testing, whatever you want to call it. Fill in your changelog. Let's select Windows. These options down here, I would basically always leave this one checked, because if I'm uploading, it's typically that I want to make it the live release. And then I agree to the terms and policy, and I would click add file, and it would literally give me a progress bar of this starting to upload. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to upload none of these files. So that would be for PC. Now, if I wanted to go to a different platform, select a different platform, obviously, and change this to PlayStation 4, and I would click add file, and I would upload that file. Yes, it's a pain. We used to be able to upload all these all at once as one big file, but now they're all separated. This kind of makes it smaller on the platform, which is good. It's a lot easier for trucks because typically they're like 40 megabytes or something, and then it's pretty easy to upload. But this is not bad either. When I used to have to upload my other one, like I would wait like 45 minutes, but this is not bad. So I understand the new system. It's kind of clunky uploading multiple files, but it's actually better because it's smaller file chunks. So it's a lot easier for me, and especially those of you that are on remote connections or smaller, like, pipelines way out in the boons. So that helps you a lot. So other than that, that's pretty much all there is to it for packing your mod map. And that's kind of going to conclude this how-to video. Depending on how this one goes, maybe I'll make some more, cover some other things, some tips and tricks that I've found useful for optimizing mods and things like that, to kind of help other modders per se, and those of you that are getting into modding. Anyway, I hope you like it. Subscribe, like my channel, all that good stuff about YouTube. Till next time, peace out.